What is going on, everybody? We are live, episode 18 of the BoogiePod, and we got college basketball pick'ems again. Then we got nothing college football related for the most part. I got one topic, but it won't last long. UFC stuff. It's a big card this weekend, and NFL stuff for the most part. We messed up a little bit. I messed up. We did our Super Bowl stuff all last week, and I didn't realize, I knew the Super Bowl was 2 weeks away, but when I made the thing, I wasn't thinking that, hey, next week we can't ask the exact same questions. So we went with a little different route. We're not going to talk so much about the Super Bowl. If you want to see all of our Super Bowl stuff, go watch the last podcast. That was all the Super Bowl stuff. This stuff is more, honestly, draft related and prospects. Definitely at the QB spot. So we'll talk a lot more about that. But, Jake, do you have a good weekend? Good week?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Alrighty, let's get into basketball. So, we picked all the same last week besides one game, and that put me at 16-6 and you at 14-8. You went with Baylor. No, we're both doing pretty good now. I mean, you're both riding the hot seat right now. But we got a lot this week, so maybe we'll pick different. We'll see. Mountain Dew sponsor me. All right. On Monday later tonight, is number 10 Kansas at number 23 Texas. Who you got?
I'll take Kansas. They're hot right now.
And we're picking different to start it off, baby. Give me Texas. Give me the Longhorns. Hook them horns. All right, Jake over there. Look at you. A little J next to Kansas. I like how we're already starting off a little different here. Number 24 Marquette at number 17 UConn. This starts off Tuesday. Who do you got?
I'll take UConn.
You got UConn. I also, hold on, let me move my mouse. It's kind of in the way. Okay. I also have UConn. Staying on Tuesdays, there's a lot of good games Tuesday. Number 11 Wisconsin at number 13 Michigan State.
Ooh, take Michigan State.
I got Michigan State as well.
Yeah.
All right, number 18 Illinois at number 14 Purdue.
Purdue.
I think I said 14. I meant 4. So, makes it even easier.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then goes into Friday. So it goes from Tuesday and then Wednesday and Thursday, nothing. Friday, number 17 UConn. At number 21 is Xavier.
Xavier.
All right. Me too. I'm also going with Xavier, that home team. Then going down to Saturday, we got 2 games on Saturday. Number 23 Texas at number 8 Baylor. Who you got in that one?
Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor. And then to finish off Saturday, a great game. Number 3 UCLA at number 19 USC. Who you got in that one?
Ooh, UCLA just got upset really bad.
Yeah, they're not number 3 no more. I messed up.
12.
Yeah, because I made this top 25 earlier today, and then literally as soon as I got done, I think an hour later, they dropped the new top 25. So if there's a top 25 team who's playing our top 25 or it's something else, that sucks because we're going off this.
I'm going to take UCLA, though.
I'm also going to go UCLA.
Yeah.
So we're picking one different again. It's the very first one later tonight. Ooh, spicy. Alrighty, going into college football. I got nothing else. The only big headliner really this week, besides some things about new coaches and stuff like that, was that Texas A&M locked in their number 1 recruiting class. It's not really even a headliner. Everyone knew they were kind of lock it in. It was just a matter of the dude signing the paper. So how long do you give Texas A&M until they win a national championship? Or will they win?
If they're going to recruit like this, I give them till next year. If they got a good quarterback, golly. Yeah. If their class is that good,
that's the thing,
they'll be good. Yeah.
That's the thing, though. They don't have a good quarterback.
Yeah. That was one of the main issues last year. This past season. They were a pretty decent little team, but...
Let me ask you a question, Jake. Who's Texas A&M's quarterback? Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. Jada's
here
this week. Welcome back, Jada. Listen. Yeah, Texas A&M's quarterback, they got to get... And I think Listen, I don't know. I have the stream pulled up on this monitor and then us on the other. So I can't look it up on 247 Sports. But I have not reacted to a Texas A&M skilled position player yet. So they might be dominant on the line. But I'm going to tell you something. If they don't get a quarterback and some receivers, it ain't going to matter how well they block.
That's
now,
true.
it starts with blocking. You got to block. If you can block, it doesn't matter who you have back there. You have a shot. You have a chance. But in order to win a national championship, you got to have a quarterback. And if you don't have a quarterback, I know. Hold on, I'm going somewhere with that. If you don't have a quarterback, you gotta have decently good wide receivers or good skill positions on defense, and that's what Georgia has. And Stinson Bennett, whatever. They have good skill positions on defense. On defense, they do.
Yeah, because Georgia's best receiving threat is their tight end. That's usually not a great thing.
No, well,
if you're trying to do this.
When you have Stinson Bennett, it's probably better. He just throws it to shut down Chucky instead of. Trying to go on.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that was all college football because college football's boring right now. Going into the UFC. Sean Strickland and Jack Hermansen fought this past weekend. It was, honestly, the fight was just kind of meh. It wasn't like all that. Sean Strickland he more played defense the whole time. He went that fight saying, if I don't get taken down, I'm going to win. And that's true, and that's what happened, and that's what he did. And, he apologized in his post-fight press conference or whatever. Bloody, who cares? What is next for Sean Strickland? Who do you think he fights next?
Well, real quick, he was kind of asking for a title shot, which is really absurd. Because, say he would have starched Hermansen, he would have had an argument.
Yeah, no way he gets. The only way he gets a title shot is if, first of all, he has to beat Winokur. He has to beat Winokur for him to even be in the conversation. And then Derek Brunson and Jared Cannonier have to draw, or they have to both look so bad that that's the only way.
Yeah. But I would say Strickland should fight Vettori next. That makes the most sense. Everyone else is booked up right now except Costa and Vettori.
And I'll tell you why it can't be Vettori. I'll tell you why. Me and you both sat on that couch Saturday night and said Vettori's the option. It can't be. They're really, really good, get this, friends.
They're friends,
and they're training partners, and they've said in the past that they wouldn't fight each other unless they absolutely had to. So
the money was right.
Yeah, so I think Costa and Sean Strickland's the option and the answer. You make Costa
That'd be
fight.
Interesting.
The thing about Costa, though, is he needs to go up to light heavyweight, and he won't because he's kind of a dum-dum.
Yeah.
And it just sucks.
Yeah.
So I think Costa's the best. I think if Vettori and him weren't buddies, they're the best option by far. But
yeah,
that's what it is. What about what's next for Jack Hermansen?
I have no idea.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, maybe give him another pretty decent contender, like not contender, like a guy that's breaking into the top 10-ish. Throwing one of those guys. I wouldn't let him fight up no more for a minute because he just beat Shabazian, who's really bad.
Yeah,
kind of. He's a bad matchup. He's been getting fed a bunch of good wrestlers.
Yeah,
and I didn't think Hermansen looked that great. It's just
he
tried. I'll give him credit. He hit hard. He just kept throwing.
Yeah, he just couldn't hit him. Just couldn't hit him.
Yeah, it's weird because I think any good, a really good striker is gonna beat the crap out of Sean Strickland. I think.
Yeah,
but who knows?
I got Hermansen versus Darren Till. It's been booked before.
That makes sense. Yeah,
it's been booked before, and I can see it happening later this year. I think that Hermansen. I think Darren Till right now he injured himself again, trying to come back for the London card. He's out for 2 more months, 3 more months, probably tops.
Yeah.
So I think maybe then, because it's not like Jack Hermansen took this crazy beating where he's gonna be out for a long time. I think you give Jack Hermansen 4.5, 5 months. Around that time, Darren Till should be able to train long enough, and then throw him in there. Might throw it back in London later this year. Don't know. We'll see. Somewhere in the UK, maybe Liverpool. I don't know.
Yeah, they're taking a risk by feeding. What was his name? I just blanked. Darren Till to another wrestler.
They are.
They're taking a risk because they just saw what happened, and it was kind of embarrassing. It was pretty bad.
But let's be honest, though. If you let Derek Brunson beat up on you that bad, it doesn't matter what risk you take. you don't have a future.
Probably not. Yeah.
I mean, I just hate it. Derek Brunson's a fossil, and he laid on you for 5 rounds. He didn't lay on you. He
finished him, did he not?
I don't know if he finished him, but he beat the crap out of him. He did not look good. He did not look good.
He did.
He was bleeding. He was bloodied up. He looked bad. So if you're gonna let Fossil Brunson lay on you and beat the crap out of you, I mean,
I think he did get a stoppage that fight. I thought I remember that in the car that one day. I don't know.
He might have. Me and you were so stoked about that game anyway. We didn't really.
Yeah.
I got a little other note right here. Leaving the Brian Battle and Trayshawn Gore. Oh, hold on. Before we get there, I told Dad this, and we didn't really talk about it because it was so absurd that I feel like it didn't register. The fact that fight was split decision is absolutely insane. No, the Strickland Hermansen fight. That is absolutely insane. That is insane. That judge never needs to see the life.
He's like a really frequent judge too.
Yep.
Sal D'Amato or whatever. Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know. I have a theory. I think this is the problem. I think the judges have to go off what they see right there in front of them in the octagon. And I think angles play a big factor in that.
Yeah.
I think they should get a monitor that is directly, just like the commentators have, just like our TVs are, that they have the option to watch that, or they can watch up top.
Yeah, it makes more sense that way, yeah.
If they might already have it, I'm not sure, but I just think, I've never seen them or seen that they have one or anything like that, but I just think that's the only excuse I can think of for something like that. Maybe you see an angle right, or, because it's not like the rounds were insanely like 10-8-ish or anything, but it was just like, dude, what? How? Like, Jack Hermansen might have won 2 rounds if you're generous.
Yeah, I had him winning 1 in the first, probably. I think he might have won
one, too.
Yeah.
And that was it. So, I don't know. That was insanely absurd. Brian Battle versus Trayshawn Gore happened for the actual tough winner. Brian Battle ended up beating him. I've rewatched the fight a second time, and, I think Brian Battle definitely won the fight. I'm not worried about that.
He won.
Yeah, the third round actually made me a lot more confident that he won the fight. The problem here is Trayshawn Gore was way too patient, and he let Brian Battle set the pace on him and continue to do that. Now, I left that fight saying, man, I don't think neither of those guys are going to be any good. Now that I've watched it again, I'm still not. But I see the potential that they have. They just got to get it fixed soon. With that being said, I hate the best fight to make with Brian Battle. Now, I have this. I'm not going to ask you who you think. I just want to get your reflection of what I'm about to tell you. I don't have one for Trayshawn Gore because I think, honestly, if he loses his next fight, he will be cut. Because he'll be 4-2. Can't do that.
If he loses it because he's not doing anything, yeah, he'll probably will get cut. Yeah. Because he has potential. I kind of think he could be good.
But why not do Brian Battle versus Nick Maximoff?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Wrestler on wrestler. Let's watch it. I feel like, it's funny because Nick Maximoff, here's the thing about Brian Battle, right? He's not all that good, but he's in middleweight. And middleweight, I've watched a lot of videos recently from MMA Guru and people like that who know the depth of each division a lot better than we see it, kind of, I guess you could say. And middleweight is by far the worst division in UFC, at least man's. It's by far. Yeah. It's nowhere close. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in middleweight, talent-wise, don't even compare to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in every other division. That includes flyweight. Flyweight. And it's just, man, I just don't get it. So I think Brian Battle has a shot to be top 10 one day. Top 5, we'll see. But I don't know. But I think that fight has that could be, a co-main to a fight night. That's a nice, Nick Maximoff has a lot of hype. Brian Battle, tough winner. Co-main fight night, why not? Or maybe even a headliner prelim on a main card. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, so our next question is: we also watch Rachmaninoff Fight.
Yeah.
He is an absolute animal. That dude's a freak. You think he will have the belt one day? Welterweight. Ooh.
Probably. Hazmat might own that division.
Might.
That could be a fight for a belt. He might fight Hazmat for the belt one day. I could see him having a belt. Yeah.
What a crazy
I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah,
especially
he's a killer.
Especially if they both stay on the same path they are now. Man, how crazy. I feel so ashamed as a big UFC fan. I had no clue who that dude was until this fight night. Like that's his fault though. I will say that. That's his fault. He doesn't fight a lot. But
yeah, they snuck in like 2 or 3 really good prospects in this card.
I knew
a couple of them were like,
the guy on the prelims, the Almeida guy, I knew him. He's the wrestler guy that's an absolute animal. I knew him. But I didn't know Rachmaninoff, and I feel really stupid because that guy's insane.
Yeah, he is really good.
Yeah. Alrighty, going in UFC 271, Jake. I want your picks. I'll give you the fight. You give me your pick. All right. For now, I'm not gonna hold it to you.
Yeah.
Give me your early. You know the rundown. I'm not gonna give you mine because I'll be doing my prediction videos Wednesday. So I'll assign you. Well, no, let's not start with that one. Let's start with the co-main because see, this card's weird because the 3 fights at the end are all good. But instead of giving us like a main event and then a co-main that's really good, they gave us a main event and 2 kind of number 1 contender fights type deal.
Yeah.
And it's alright. I'm more of a fan who's like, I want the whole card to be good and maybe not the top to be great more than I like the top to be great and the rest have to be mediocre.
Yeah.
But Cannonier versus Brunson, who you got?
I got Cannonier. Cannonier by knockout.
Yeah, I think if he does win, it will be by knockout. Or he just beats the crap out of him for 3 rounds. It's only 3 rounds, so.
Yeah.
That favors Cannonier. Okay, Derek Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa.
So I was trying to entertain the Tai Tuivasa thing, but I got to go Derek Lewis because I know what game they're going to play, and Derek Lewis is undisputed at this game.
Between me and you, a little birdie I've heard through the grapevine of the man that lives in that room over there, Smite, is smelling him a little Tai Tuivasa.
He should take it. He'll get really mad after.
Now you know Dad, he's never locked in on anyone.
Yeah.
But he's smelling it. So I'm just telling you what he's got a whiff of earlier this week. I'm just letting you know.
I could see it. Anything's possible. It's heavyweight, but I can't bet against Derek Lewis in a fight like this.
And then the main one, Adesanya versus Whittaker. What do you got?
Easy indecision. I do not think he's going to be able to knock out Whittaker this time. I think he'll play really safe.
Think he'll be boring, or do you think he'll be like... Besides, like, do you think it'd be a boring fight? Because obviously the tension of a main event kind of...
Yeah.
Hard for
I think it's going to not be boring, but it's going to be one of those fights where I think he might just coast through it, kind of like Vittori, where he's never really in any real danger, but there's always the threat. Yeah. But he's also not like crapping on his opponent necessarily. It's just kind of like he's just winning.
He's winning.
Just winning. Yeah.
I got you. All right. Yeah, and then my take of it is, I think I'll give you, because I'm not gonna make any predictions, like I said, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through each fighter, and if they won, how do I think they would win?
Yeah.
Now I'm not locked in on this either on any of these, because like I could be like Cannonier by knockout, and then turn around and go Cannonier by sub. But listen, I think if Cannonier wins, it'll be by knockout. I think if Brunson wins, it'll be by decision. I think if Tuivasa wins, it'll be by knockout. And I think if Derek Lewis wins, it'll be by knockout. I'll tell you something very weird. There's a shot it could happen. Like, there's a good shot. Could you imagine seeing Derek Lewis knocked out?
Yeah, I was about to just say that. That's going to be weird, because there's a real chance he could get starched this fight.
Yeah, which we've seen him knocked out.
Man, not like
that's crazy.
Not like a heavyweight knockout where it's bad.
It's weird because I was looking at their stats, right? Or not their stats, their height and weight and stuff. They're very similar people. And when I feel like in my brain, I feel like Tai Tuivasa is a lot smaller than he is, but he's not. So maybe it's just as crazy, but I feel like it's so easier seeing Tai Tuivasa get knocked out than Derek Lewis. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then I think if Adesanya wins, it could be by decision or knockout.
Yeah.
And I think if Whitaker wins, I think it could be either by decision, probably decision, or submission. I don't think I'd be very. If it's by knockout, he caught him. Good for him. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Going into the NFL, the reason why I'm doing more of I've already explained why we're not doing Super Bowl, but the reason why I'm doing more prospects is because the American and National game, is that what it's called? Pro Thing Bowl game?
The Senior Bowl?
Yeah, the Senior Bowl. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
The Senior Bowl. So, I'm going to give you a quarterback. I'm going to tell you their stats of the game. And I want you to tell me if their draft stock went up, went down, or stayed the same for that quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kenny Pickett. He went 6 for 6, 89 yards. He averaged 14.8 yards a play. He threw 1 touchdown pass and 0 interceptions. He carried the ball 0 times for 0 yards.
I would say it went slightly up because we already know Kenny Pickett's probably the safest choice. I think he's the safest choice out of all the quarterbacks. So it went up a little bit, but everyone kind of knows what they're going to get out of him, I feel like, possibly.
I think, I also think it went up. That's up Desmond Ritter. He went 4 for 6, 68 yards. He averaged 11.3 yards per play, 2 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. He carried the ball 3 times for 12 yards.
What did you say his completion percentage was? Like, what was the
4
ratio?
6.
Yeah, he didn't. Wow. Yeah, he maybe slightly went up too. I don't think he's going to be very good in the NFL. I'm not sold on him as much as Kenny Pickett. He could be, because this is one of those classes that's weaker when it'll all of a sudden just be really good in 5 years. It went up a little bit, but I don't think people really want to prioritize him.
Yeah, I think it went up too. Carson Strong, 6 for 11, 67 yards. He averaged 6.1 per play, 0 touchdown passes, 1 interception. He rushed the ball 1 time for 0 yards.
It went down. I don't know if any teams actually looked at him as a viable starting quarterback candidate. I think he's going to be a career backup type quarterback. His thing is he's really tall. I'm pretty sure he's insanely tall for a quarterback, and yeah, I think it went down slightly.
It's crazy how at the very beginning of the year he was the number 1 guy. He was the guy. It's kind of funny how that disappeared.
Rattler, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking week 4, 5. He was the guy, and it just went away. Kind of funny.
Yeah.
Sam Howell, he went 6 for 9, 67 yards. He averaged 7.4 per play. Per a play. 0 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. He rushed the ball 5 times for 29 yards. Up, down, stayed the same.
Yeah, he also got a rushing touchdown that game. Slightly up. It's slightly up because he showed that he can run. He's a sneaky good runner. He's sneaky athletic. If you look at him, you wouldn't think he'd be that great at it.
Yeah.
But it went up a little bit. I think he might be okay too. I think he'll start his first year. Maybe it depends where he gets drafted to.
Yeah, I think it went up as well. Malik Willis, he went 2 for 4 for 11 yards. He averaged 2.8 per play, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He carried the ball 4 times for 54 yards.
I think his kind of stayed the same because I think he has the highest ceiling out of all of them. But his floor is pretty low because there's a chance he can never really get his arm where it needs to be and just be another running quarterback that you can't really rely on to win you a big game because his arms aren't as good.
Yeah.
But I think he'll start his first year as well, but we'll see.
Okay, I think it also went slightly up. I agree with you. So we agree mostly for that. We don't really have any difference, honestly. All right, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you, okay, I don't know if you got a piece of paper, pencil, but you might be able to name them off head. I can write them down for you. That way you don't forget, whatever. But while you're getting that, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to give you all of the quarterbacks that are going to be in this draft that are at least ranked in the top 300-ish. You know them all. And you're going to rank them best to worst if you were a team looking for a quarterback.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to name them off for the viewers and for you if you don't know. And then you can just start from best to worst or worst to best. Just let me know which way you want to go. But you got Bailey Zapp, Carson Strong, Sam Howell, Desmond Ritter, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, and Kenny Pickett. If you forget somebody, I'll let you know.
I would say Carson Strong could be the worst out of all of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll go worst to best.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see it in him. Then I think Bailey Zapp probably next. He is a guy that could potentially be good because he had a really, really, really good season against pretty mediocre talent.
Yeah.
He could be a sleeper. He could be one of those guys that falls and ends up being a pretty solid starting quarterback one day.
Like a Trey Lance, but without all the hype.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you look at it that way. Okay, rename them real quick. I'm trying to write them down in my notes.
So here's who you're missing: Sam Howell, Desmond Ritter, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, and Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got Zapp and Strong, and I think Desmond Ritter's next.
Okay.
I said it earlier. I don't know if I really see it in him. He has potential.
Yeah.
But after him, who will I say? I'm gonna go Matt Corral.
Okay.
Here.
Wow. Okay.
I do not think Matt Corral is everything they think he is, and he's more of a product of that offense in college than anything. But he has a pretty decent arm. He can throw the ball pretty far, and he is really good at running the ball. I watched him run the ball against Tennessee like 100 times. He's like, that's the main reason they won, because he ran the ball so well. But, nah. Then I'll go Sam Howell next. I think all these guys, really, in this class, there's a chance that none of them end up being a starter one day.
Yeah.
There's a chance not one of them works out.
Yeah. Depending on where quarterbacks go, there's a chance none of them start as soon as they go to their team.
Yeah. Then I would go Malik Willis because his ceiling's high, but his floor is pretty low, I think. And he has high upside. But then number one in Kenny Pickett, I'm pretty sold on him. I think he'll be the one that's actually pretty good out of this class. And I think it's between him and Malik Willis as to who gets picked first in this draft.
Right. Okay, here's mine. So, worst, I got Bailey Zapp. I think he's the worst in the class. If I was a team, I would take him last. I would not. Honestly, if he's your option, I'll be honest with you. For guys who I have 7 and 6, if I was looking for a quarterback, I probably wouldn't take him. I'd probably just wait until next year and just tank or something. I don't know. Because number 6, I have Carson Strong. I have him practically on the same list. I would just rather have the physical attributes of Carson Strong than I would Bailey Zapp. Maybe if you give him a good quarterback coach, maybe you can get something there. Number 5, I have Sam Howell. He's kind of that mid-tier. I think he could be something one day, but I think he probably needs a team around him to do it. I don't think he's a guy who can do it himself. Same with Desmond Ritter. I think he's number 4. I actually think he's the definition of a quarterback that if he was with a teammate around him, he would be good enough to win. I think Desmond Ritter's ceiling is like a Jimmy G type guy, where like he's like tops on his game, when he's like at his prime. Desmond Ritter is a guy who will manage the ball.
Yeah,
that's his top for me. I think Sam Howell's ceiling is a mediocre quarterback, never more than top 20 in the league. I just don't see Sam Howell being anything really more because I feel like we've been there and done that with Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield was good. And I feel like Sam Howell's just a downgrade from Baker Mayfield in every
potentially,
category, besides the running part. Number 3, I had Malik Willis. You had Matt Corral here. I think Malik Willis runs the ball really well, but I think his problem might be injuries, and he never will be necessarily reliable. Because I feel like the problem with Malik Willis is his option 1 is run, and his option 2 is pass. And I think
big issue.
Yeah, and I think in the NFL that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I have Matt Corral. He runs the ball well, but his option 1 will be to throw the ball. He was in a great offensive mind and scheme at Ole Miss, so maybe going into the NFL that'll help him. He has the arm strength, he has the talent. I think with Matt Corral, it's more just learning the scheme and learning the NFL ways and culture faster. Kenny Pickett, I think, honestly, I have him number 1. I think he has everything Matt Corral I just said, but I think he will learn it faster. And I think his play style already fits the culture of the NFL scheme. And, I think Kenny Pickett honestly has a bright future, and I think he will be a starting quarterback somewhere.
Yeah.
And as you have heard, that Steelers are looking at Malik Willis tops. I would personally love if the Steelers got Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, me too.
I would love Kenny Pickett to go to a team with that already talent and just let it sling. Let it sling, man. I think he would have a great future ahead of him.
Yeah, that's the unique part about this class is because they're not very good on paper, so that means they'll probably go to better teams. They're not going to go to the Jets and Jaguars and all those kind of Lions and stuff. The Lions actually might pick one, maybe in the second round, but
easy now.
Yeah,
throwing Jaguars around there. Oh.
Well, yeah, but there's a chance all these guys can go to good situations and have maybe good rookie years if they learn the NFL quick enough, but not many of them will do that, I don't think.
And that wraps it up. That's what we got today. You got any questions? Comments, concerns? Alrighty, guys. That'll wrap it up for episode 18 of the BoogiePod. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. You know the routine. And videos coming out Wednesday, Friday. Then I might squeeze one in between those days or maybe later this weekend. Because I want to do a Super Bowl video, but I don't really know if I want to do the basic prediction video or if I want to go a little something different like the best bets video. I don't know. I do know Friday will probably be a recruit reaction video, and then Wednesday will be UFC 271 prediction.